wasn't worth it. He went back into the kitchen. "I wanted to tell you," Mimi began again. "Wait, let me drink my coffee first, then we can talk." The mugful's effect was just barely sufficient. The inspector sat down opposite Mimi, lit a cigarette, and said, "Okay, you can talk now." As soon as Mimi started telling his story, Montalbano, perhaps because he was still sort of half asleep, felt as if he was watching it on a movie screen, as if Mimi's words immediately turned into moving images. It was late at night. The street was rather wide, and the car advanced silently and ever so slowly, drifting past the other cars parked along the pavement. It seemed not to be rolling on wheels, but sliding on butter. All at once the car took off, lurched over to the left, swerved, and parked in an instant. The driver's side door opened, and a man got out, carefully closing the door behind him. It was Mimi Augello. He pulled the collar of his jacket up to his nose, tucked his head down between his shoulders, took a quick look round, and then, in 3 short hops, crossed the road and found himself on the opposite pavement. Keeping his head bowed, he took a few steps straight ahead, stopped in front of a door, reached out with one hand, and, without even looking at the names listed, rang one of the buzzers. The answer came at once. "Is that you?" "Yes." The latch clicked. Mimi pushed the door open, went inside, and closed it behind him in the twinkling of an eye, then started climbing the stairs on tiptoes. He'd decided he would make less noise on foot than by taking the lift. Reaching the 3rd floor, he saw a shaft of light filtering out from a door ajar. Approaching it, he pushed it open and went in. The woman, who'd apparently been waiting for him in the entrance hall, grabbed him with her left hand while with her right she closed and locked the door with 4 turns of the key in the top lock and 2 more in the bottom lock, before tossing the keys onto a small table. Mimi made as if to embrace her, but she stepped back, took him by the hand, and said in a soft voice, "Let's go in the other room." Mimi obeyed. Now they were in the bedroom, and the woman embraced Mimi and pressed her lips against his. Mimi held her tight, returning her passionate kiss. At that exact moment, the 2 lovers froze and looked at each other with eyes open wide in terror. Had they really heard the key turning in the front door? A fraction of a second later, they had no more doubts. Someone was opening the door. In a flash, Mimi dashed over to the balcony, opened the French windows, and went outside, as his lady friend quickly reclosed the door behind him. He heard her ask, "Martino, is that you?" A man's voice from inside the apartment replied, "Yes, it's me." And her, "Why are you back?" "I called in a replacement. I'm not feeling very well." Mimi didn't wait to hear any more. He had no time to lose and felt utterly trapped. He could hardly spend the night cringing outside the window, and had to think of a way to get himself out of that uncomfortable, dangerous situation. He leaned out to look below. There was a balcony exactly like the one he was on, old style, with a cast-iron railing. If he climbed over the railing, he could reach the one below, keeping his hands fastened on the bars of his railing and lowering himself down little by little. At any rate, there was no other escape route. And so, wasting no more time, he stood up on tiptoe, looked to the left and right to make sure no cars were coming, and, seeing that all was quiet, climbed over the balustrade, rested his feet on the outer ridge of the balcony, and crouched down. Then, lowering his legs while hanging on with all the strength in his arms, he managed to touch the railing of the balcony below with the tips of his toes. Arching his back and swinging his legs forward, he executed an athletic leap and managed to land on his feet on the 2nd-floor balcony. He'd done it! He leaned his back against the wall, panting heavily and feeling his clothes sticking to his sweaty body. As soon as he felt ready for more acrobatics, he leaned out again to survey the situation. Below him was another balcony exactly like the other 2. He calculated that once he got to the 1st floor, he would be able to grab onto a large metal pipe that ran parallel to the main door of the building